I'm live to talk about this smoke. It's coming down the East Coast into South Carolina. It's probably reaching Florida. I know it's down into Georgia, North Carolina. This wildfire smoke from Canada, y'all. Hello, Daryl Calhoun. I don't know where you are. I believe you're in North Carolina, right? Thank you, 5x5. I was going to ask somebody about that. Thank you very much. New York City or New York, I'm hearing, is the worst when it comes to this wildfire smoke. This wildfire smoke is very unhealthy. In case y'all don't know, it can make you sick if you're exposed to it. Daryl Calhoun, thank you for being here. Ms. Tree, thank you. How you doing, Hoax? In our skies today, how are you all doing? Thank you. I haven't completely solved my problem, as you can see, but I'm still working on it. But that haze is all up and down the East Coast. It's far west is Minnesota, as I was reading. Yeah, this smoke is hazy. This is something we're really not accustomed to. So we're going to read a little bit how to keep yourself safe from this smoke, y'all. I hope we can get things doing and going better all the time, but whatever it is whatever it is right now. Our skies today, Ms. Tree, hello. She's a wildflower. I don't know where all of you are. I'm in South Carolina. And yes, that smoke is reaching South Carolina. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to do a little bit of reading today. It's not going to be very long, about 30 minutes. How's everybody doing? Have you went outside? Mike Smith, has anybody been outside to see and test the air? Because it is, believe it or not, it's as far south as where I live. And if you're exposed to this for a long period of time, it can give you health problems because of the certain particulates, as you're going to learn here in just a minute. Yes, the particulates in the air. Hello, Salty Assassins. We have a new person in the house. Thank you. Appreciate it. Geneva, Cordoba, it's raining in Colorado. I wish we had a good heavy rain here in South Carolina. I don't think that wildfire smoke is reaching Colorado, and that is a good thing. I don't know. I can't be in 20 places at one time. Hello, LW. Thank y'all for coming here. I appreciate it. Y'all please hit the thumbs up because I want you to stay safe from wildfire smoke. I really do. Also heard sand dust from Sahara is reaching the USA. I don't know at this very moment. I need to look into that. But when it comes to this air quality, I want y'all to be safe, y'all. This week, many people who live in the U.S. have woken up to hazy skies. Wildfire smoke from eastern Canada continues to trail down the East Coast as far west as Minnesota. Well, thank you, Ms. Tree. I don't think you live in the United States, do you? Thank you. Yeah, as far west as Minnesota, state and local authorities have issued air quality warnings throughout the affected regions. Y'all listen to this, please. And it could be days before the air quality is lifted. It could be this week, till it's untelling, till Sunday or whenever. I don't know. Wildfire pollution may be a new threat to some of these regions, but with global temperatures climbing, they're going to involve the new climate change. Yeah, the new climate change is causing all this, I'm sure. But anyway, I want to get to the smoke. It could be more common in the future. Here's what to know about staying safe until the smoke clears. Adjust your day. Adjust your day, please. Don't be going outside. Really, they got us on a lockdown, y'all. A smoke lockdown. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, they know how to do it. They don't have to say everybody is sick or whatever. They can just start fires in Canada and put us on a lockdown, y'all. Hello, Ungame Miller. Because of high concentrations of tiny, difficult to filter particles. Y'all listen to me, please. These are hard to filter particles. Very difficult. Known as PM 2.5. Have you ever heard that? I'll enlarge the screen a little bit. I'm going to read that again. Because of high concentrations of tiny, difficult to filter particles, known as PM 2.5 in wildfire plumes. It's got me wheezing from camping and stuff because I had a campfire in wildfire plumes. Exposure to this type of smoke can be harmful to anyone. Mike Smith, good to see you and thank you. I know that air quality is poor up there. I don't know where everybody lives. I'm in South Carolina, and the smoke is down here in South Carolina. It really is. It's hazy, smoky. The air quality is bad, and I've been outside too, and I'm going to stop going outside for the rest of the week now because I don't want to, put myself at risk. I'm going to read this again, y'all, because this is very important. A lot of people don't know about this. Leslie Bosler, thank you. Good to see you. Because of high concentrations of tiny, difficult to filter particles, known as PM 2.5, in wildfire plumes. Exposure to this type of smoke can be harmful to anyone. Poor air quality is particularly dangerous to those with chronic lung disease, asthma, allergies, and children, elderly people, pregnant women. People in these categories should expect that any existing respiratory systems they have will get worse. If you have allergies, asthma, chronic lung disease, it's going to get worse if you have been exposed to any of this wildfire smoke, okay? People in these categories should expect that any existing respiratory systems they have will get worse within a day of limited exposure to highly polluted outdoor air. I hope y'all can hear me good. After a couple days of exposure, people will have cardiovascular disease, can feel worsening of their symptoms as well. People who have cardiovascular disease. A lot of people's going to be hospitalized because of this. There was a video. I'm going to play it in a minute. This is only a short live stream. Anyone who falls in these categories should take safety precautions most seriously, please. This smoke is very dangerous, Dwayne Latica. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Dwayne, thank you very much for coming through. Anyone who falls in these categories should take safety precautions most seriously. They want you to wear one of these N95 masks, like here we go again. But you have to do it for your real safetyness this time. I see smoke, y'all. So it's not like the last hoax that we had. This is not a hoax. This is real. There's smoke in the air, and please do not expose yourself outside for a very long period of time, is what I'm saying. Like if you have rescue inhalers, keep them on hand. Any medications or devices, if you know you're going to be exposed, consider using solutions proactively. Today's not the day to skip your allergy pill. Over the past few days, in addition to an increase in office visits and hospitalizations for people with asthma, we've had an increase in allergy, hoarseness, sore throats, and some people even complaining of fatigue. These all are pretty immediate effects. Stay inside and make sure, make sure your home doesn't have cracks around the air conditioner and stuff like that, because you don't really want this smoke getting in your home. I'm not a teacher, y'all. I'm just a common sense person. And this, to me, is a little bit of common sense. If you're outside when you don't really have to be, then you're not utilizing your common sense. If you have any type of chronic illness, it is recommended that you stay indoors for the duration of the air quality warning, even if it lasts for a few days. And this will probably last till about the end of the week. I don't know. Hopefully this will blow over in the next couple of days. So we want you to stay safe out there, y'all. It may not be possible for everyone. Anything you can do to spend more time indoors will minimize your exposure to the air outside. Route on your walk, back from work or whatever. This is not the day to go hiking and be outside for 5 hours at a time. If you're outside, make sure air is indoors, make sure your air is circulated. Air conditioning system, fans, freestanding air purifiers. Our air conditioners are well equipped to take care of these problems. Even though it is, you can still barely smell it. It gets in your nose, y'all, and it kind of stays there, Make sure you rinse your nose out when you take a bath or a shower. I'm serious. I want that smell out of there. And it says, like it says right here, wear N95 respirator outdoors. Which, I'm not big on the big mask thing, y'all. But when it comes to common sense and this smoke coming from Canada, which is coming all the way down to South Carolina, if you're in the chat, you might want to tell each other, I live in Minnesota, I live in Florida, I live in Kentucky, I live in Canada, and the smoke is bad, It's none of my business where you live. I don't want to know the street that you live on, for real. But it's good to know if everybody's experiencing the same thing. Hello, Off the Wall Prepping. This wildfire smoke, man. I got a little more information. I even got a video over here. This is no game to play with, y'all. So let's play this little video. I wanted to kind of keep this down to like 30 minutes. Let me read the chat a little bit. Urban Harvest, hello. You live in Texas? I don't know if you're getting the smoke there in Texas, but we're getting it here in South Carolina. It's all over the eastern coast of the United States. I don't know how it says far west as Minnesota. So, yeah, and if you go straight down, that would include Tennessee, all the way down Alabama, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, it says the whole eastern coast of the United States. So I'm going to play this little video before everybody leaves the stream. I just want everybody, I noticed that you can barely smell the smoke when you're outside. It's smoky as it was yesterday here in Kentucky. Yesterday you would have thought the smell would be strong. It is pretty strong here in South Carolina, Mike. It really is. You can smell it, and it's not only the smell. You can see like against the woods, and you can see like a haziness. You would think it was a fog or whatever. It's smoke. All throughout this afternoon, the smoke was like this in this picture here in South Carolina. It was not chemtrails. It was smoke covering the sky, y'all. It kind of broke up a little bit. Some of it blew out of here and some of it came back. I'm telling y'all the truth. The smoke is bad. Let's play this video.
The levels that we're seeing today are really much higher than what are normally seen in a large polluted city in Asia, for example. And so we're really seeing these exceptional levels that are traditionally seen in really, really populated cities. We're really seeing over 50% of the U.S. population.
It's just a few minute video. As you see, Super Dave has not solved his problem. I'm buying an Ethernet cable. I'm going to solve the problem. I've ordered me an Ethernet cable and a new fitting for it. So, yeah, I'm determined to get it right. But anyway, this doctor here, he explains that this is pretty bad, y'all.
Everything east of Columbus, Ohio, is experiencing levels on the order of 150 to 180, which is an air quality index, suggesting that these are very hazardous levels to be breathing. The wildfires in Canada and Quebec and Nova Scotia, which are all the particulates that are released during the wildfires, are flowing down through the
It's these particulates. I don't know what's any different about these particulates, but when it comes to these wildfires, they're very dangerous to our health. And I could tell, like I said, I was wheezing a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to take some cough medicine and maybe take me an allergy pill because I've been outside myself. And I'm like, well, it's a trick, y'all. Don't be outside too long. I mean, really, there's a trick to this thing. It's okay, I think, to be outside for a few minutes. But long time exposure to this smoke is very hazardous. Let's finish the video.
The Ohio River and then flowing to the east. And so we're seeing exceptionally high levels in the last couple days because of these wildfires. And unfortunately, these levels will likely remain high until the fires are out. The levels that people, if they were to be outside, especially if they're exercising, breathing faster, they're going to be inhaling particulates at concentrations that normal smokers would inhale. So days like today are days when people with pre-existing health conditions should really stay inside.
All right, I'm coming back to the screen here, and I'm going to finish reading a little bit more because I want everybody to recognize that this is needed. Massive wildfires raging in Canada are sending huge plumes of smoke across the border, blanketing thousands of square miles in the northeastern U.S. and upper Midwest, casting a haze over skies from Wisconsin and Minnesota to New York. Hundreds of out-of-control fires are currently burning in Quebec, while authorities have managed to contain 2 wildfires burning in Nova Scotia. All that smoke isn't a mere nuisance, it's a legitimate health hazard. With the widespread plumes prompting air quality alerts from state health agencies, a burning wildfire produces many different kinds of particles, many of which aren't great for your health. But what health authorities and researchers spend most of their time worrying about are those particles with a diameter of less than 2.5 micrometers, known as PM 2.5. Human hairs range in width between 17 and 180 micrometers. Our bodies have defenses like nose hairs designed to keep particles from entering our lungs when we breathe, but tiny particles, PM 2.5, are small enough to get past those barriers and settle in the lungs. There's going to be a lot of people sick from this, y'all. There's going to be a lot of people sick. There's going to be a lot of people coughing. There's going to be a lot. This is a health problem now. You'll see in a week or so and in several days, there'll be a lot of people sick. Let me read a little bit more. From there, they may be able to enter the bloodstream, potentially damaging other parts of the body. See, it's Time Magazine. I don't believe everything I read and see. I don't. And I encourage you all to not believe everything you read and see. But when it comes to this, I believe this. This is a health, this is a health problem. I won't call it an emergency. It is very harmful to your body if you're exposed to this, especially long term, like up to 5 hours. If you got to work outside, you probably should be wearing a N95 mask. And I would not recommend that any other time, because y'all know how I am. And you probably can't believe I'm saying this. But this is totally different. This is air quality, smoke coming from Canada. That's why air quality alerts may warn residents to stay indoors when PM 2.5 levels are high, and especially stress that people should avoid exercising outside under such conditions in order to limit how much PM 2.5 they breathe. This is very small particulates. In the short term, being exposed to such particles can irritate your eyes, throat, nose, and lungs. And it also can cause you to cough and sneeze or even feel short of breath. It can also cause more serious effects, triggering asthma attacks. I kind of roughly read over this before I did it. Long-term exposure, as in cities where people are exposed to PM 2.5 and smog, is especially dangerous. It's been shown to impair children's lung development. It can also increase your risk of developing lung cancer or heart disease. People with chronic heart or lung disease issues. Long-term exposure can increase your risk of death. This is nothing to play with. it can increase your risk of death. Because once your body starts fighting off these defenses, like your immunity, and then your body is overwhelmed, you've been exposed too much, you may get like a sepsis. Your body starts producing bacteria and trying to fight it off and not able to, and is producing bacteria, and not able to heal itself. Please do not be exposed to this, y'all. Like when people poot and fart and go to the bathroom and they stink it up, and you don't want to smell all that. I mean, really, I'm being serious. Just like you don't want this smoke entering and getting into your body, you don't want anything that could cause you to become unhealthy. You're not children out there, y'all. I know that. I'm not a child myself. But I want to make sure, in case anyone here did not know, that these particulates are so small, they pass the nose hairs. They get into your body one way or the other. Can increase risk of death. PM 2.5 is a serious health concern around the world. And in the U.S., policymakers have imposed regulations to limit people's exposure, particularly through the U.S. EPA. I'm not big on stuff like that, but whatever. The result has brought deep cuts to PM 2.5 levels. The notable exception, though, has been PM 2.5 from wildfires. Despite reductions in PM 2.5 emissions across the country, wildfires are leading to an overall increase in PM 2.5 levels in the U.S. Northwest, which is particularly prone to wildfires. That air pollution from wildfires, like what much of the U.S. has seen in recent days, is projected to increase in years ahead as climate change. They want to blame this on the new climate change. If you're new here and you don't know what I'm saying when I say the new climate change, the climate change, who knows? It could be happening. It's a natural process. The earth cools, the earth heats up. So if you're new here, when I say the new climate change, I'm talking about what they're doing to the earth. Chemtrails, starting these wildfires, causing chemicals all over like up in Ohio. Very recently, these train wrecks and stuff like that, they're contributing to the new climate change. Our cars and our SUVs are not heating up the planet. When I say the new climate change, I'm referring to these people that are in charge, the ones that's causing all these problems on us. Despite reductions in PM 2.5 emissions across the country, wildfires are leading to an overall increase. Well, see, they know this, and that's the purpose of these wildfires. Like much of the U.S. has seen in recent days, is projected to increase in years ahead as climate change brings hotter, drier conditions that make intense wildfires more likely. Which I didn't want to sit here and talk about how they started these fires and all that. I'm talking about the smoke, y'all. Air quality standards typically don't distinguish risk based on the source of the PM 2.5. I mean, we have to protect ourselves on what's going on. We have to use our common sense. But there's worrying evidence that PM 2.5 from wildfires may be more dangerous than other varieties of the pollution. That evidence comes from preliminary studies on mice. Researchers aren't sure what's causing the effect, though they think it may have to do with the chemical properties of wildfire smoke that cause more inflammation and toxic buildup in the lungs. None of that is likely to provide much comfort to millions of people affected by the smoke. The best advice is to be aware of the risk and check for updates and guidance from local health authorities about how to best protect the health of family and loved ones. Just use your common sense and don't go out in the smoke, Home air purifiers can help. And if you have to go outside, wear a N95 mask. I'm not telling nobody what to do. I just wanted to do this live stream because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know about these particulates. Hello, Carlos. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Y'all please hit that thumbs up. Share me out. And let's get this worldwide, y'all. Because there's going to be a lot of more fires coming. This is just the tip of the iceberg this season. I guarantee you there'll be so many wildfires like it has been in California. They're going to move these, probably Colorado. How does Canada even have wildfires? It blows my mind, y'all. Canada's supposed to snow and be wet and have plenty of moisture throughout the winter season. I guess they stopped it from snowing as much, y'all. That's what they do. They bring all this stuff on, just like they dry California out. The wildfires, we haven't seen nothing yet, y'all. And this is a subject I've really not touched and talked about a lot. But I've turned my TV on before in the last year, the year before, every year. People say don't watch the news, but I've turned the news on to watch. And these wildfires in the U.S., they just burn people out. They really do, y'all. And they setting these fires. They're setting them on purpose. It's with the new climate change. Davos, the meeting, I'm going to cover this for 1 minute. The WEF. There was an article from last year where there was certain scientists. They wanted to talk about climate change. And they noted this year, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, they did not address climate change. Reparations. I should cover this in another live stream. They want 177 trillion. I said trillion. They want $177 trillion for third world countries, that Canada, the US, Australia, all these economically developed countries have raped, okay? I said it, have raped these third world countries of their resources. 100, and I'm going to address this when I get more information. A lot of you probably not heard this, but these climate specialists, these people, they want to address this, and it's coming. It will be in our new taxes for the new climate change and carbon tax. This is where it's all coming from. Us, you and me. I said it. $177 trillion. Because for reparations to these third world countries that can't develop, because we raped everything from them. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Hello, New World Order. Thank y'all for coming in. Dagger Spells, hello and thank you. Long time no see. Almost, anyway. Geneva Cordoba, thank you all. Don Richardson, John felt it was deliberate like Cali. Well, of course. I've seen video all over Twitter showing, and this guy was showing on these maps how these fires started at the same time. There's like 8 of them in Quebec. Did I say Quebec? I'm not sure. I think so. Like at the same time on radar that the smoke was rising from the ground to the sky. That right there tells me that this was set. This is deliberate. I don't know if they want to burn off the natural resources and kill all the animals. I've said that before for the New World Order. They want to kill the animals so we can't survive. It's kind of obvious. There was fires in Australia that killed half the animals. It's kind of obvious, y'all. And I felt like a lot of these fires will be coming to the east, like my side, North Carolina, Virginia, because there's a lot of mountains and a lot of woods, wilderness. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any information. But I feel like anything is possible when it comes to this new climate change. Because it's the opposite of a real goal. The new climate change, when it comes to the New World Order, is to destroy everything and build back better. Have you ever heard them words? Build back better. That's what I like to talk about, y'all, is common sense. And I just want to put it all together. I know I can't. A lot of times we don't see these things until after the fact. I know that. You can't really see it until it happens. But please hit that thumbs up, y'all, because this has been awesome. And I really appreciate everyone coming and listening to me today. And I think y'all know I'm on to something, when it comes to all this. I'm not sitting here wishing up things, imagining things. It's just a little bit of common sense, Even though I don't have, a lot of you have PhDs. A lot of you have, I don't have that. But it don't matter to me. Because all I want to do is try to figure this thing out as we keep going along. Especially, the earth, y'all. Trying to keep it clean and stuff. How are we going to keep it clean when they're the ones doing all this? How long will it take? The earth replenishes itself, of course. I don't care what anybody says. I've once said, just imagine if there were no train crashes, there was no wildfires. In 5 years, the earth would replenish itself if there were no chemtrails. I saw this lady on Twitter. I can't pull and show everything, y'all, because I see so much. Well, this lady was showing and demonstrating the trees and everything is weakening because of the chemtrails. A lot of people inspire me to do what I do. And I just want to inspire other people that if they figure things out, if they can see something that we don't see, to share it. Let us know, y'all. But when it comes to this wildfire smoke, don't be out in it. Please do not be out in it.